I think that Black women have been manipulated and gaslit into thinking that they're some sort of traitors because they want the best for themselves. That is not language that is given to Black men. And so I don't really subscribe to that. Again, I'm for all Black women to win at the end of the day. And this is about just the best partner, whether he's Black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian, as Lil Kim once said, right?
I appreciated your sort of messaging that you've given thus far around dating because it does really encourage this idea of self actualization to become the person that you want to be and then date from that standpoint versus centering a man or the pursuit of men in your life and becoming a person that's desirable to men. If there's so much messaging and so many complaints around dating and the hardships of marriage and wanting to have these really firm boundaries about who you're going to commit your life to in that way, I think why can't we also do the adult math to say certain things do have a time clock? I don't think marriage for me has the same time clock. So I'm going to make certain decisions to make sure that I can live the life that I want to live and not necessarily live the life according to societal standards. And some people just struggle with that because, like, I have friends who I know deeply want children, and they're watching that opportunity fleet because they cannot find the person that they want to be married to. And I divorced myself from that idea that I had to. I decided to look for the person that I wanted to parent with versus the person that I at this point want to spend the rest of my life or a long period of time with.
In terms of my clientele, I've been the dating coach for 13 years now. It is the hardest individuals to find a partner are women between the ages of 30 and 40. And it is because of what you just said, right? That there is so much pressure, both external and internal, that they put upon themselves or that's put upon them, where they're trying to make something happen, right? Or make people fill a role to create this idealized version of the family that they want and need. And it actually works against them because they decide that, just like so many women out there want the wedding and not the marriage, that ultimately at the end of the day they will choose people because they just want to have a baby, right? And not because the person is fully vetted and they want to spend the rest of their life with. Yeah, and it makes it really hard and difficult, and it's been painful to be able to tell these women that so desperately want to be with a guy, girl, he's not it. Even though you want him to be it, he's not it, and we have to move on.
I saw when you originally did this video encouraging Black women to essentially date outside their race. The idea that
Date
since
everybody.
date
There are
everybody,
great Black men too.
there were a lot of stitches where Black women were kind of like, well, culturally, I have a hard time with. Do I desire? Am I attracted to partnering with someone who's not Black?
I think that Black women have been manipulated and gaslit into thinking that they're some sort of traitors because they want the best for themselves. That is not language that is given to Black men. And so I don't really subscribe to that. Again, I'm for all Black women to win at the end of the day. And this is about just the best partner, whether he's Black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian, as Lil Kim once said, right? And so, I mean, at the end of the day, this is why
Yeah.
a lot of Black men don't really like me. Because, no, they don't. I get a lot of hate
Yeah.
DMs and emails and things like that all the time because what's happening, and it's a conversation that a lot of us don't want to have, is that there is an evolution happening and Black women are evolving past Black men, unfortunately. It's sad. I'm not basking in this, but I want to keep it 100% real. And it's actually going to be necessary if you want to have that generational wealth to be able to live the life that you want to live at the end of the day. Again, I'm not saying date outside of your race. I'm
Yeah.
saying date
Date
everyone.
everybody.
There are social issues I think there's so many excuses that are given to Black men that we tend to forget about what's happening with Black women as well. So I'm not really for the excuses for Black men. People are talking about institutional hardships that happen that Black women also face, right? And face, I would argue, actually more of.
I appreciate that you are saying widening your dating pool because when you date more diverse people, it does kind of help you get to the root of the things that really matter to who you want to partner with. Even if you do
100%.
desire culturally to be with a person of the same ethnicity, it might help you be able to better spot the things that you actually digging for, because we do tend to forgive certain things based on our identity or our blackness. I wanted to talk about the marketing of the stay-at-home girlfriend influencer, and that akin to the luxury dating influencer. I would love to know your thoughts on it and how we should maybe be receiving the messaging that they're putting out.
When I hear those things, I know that it's coming from a money wound place, ultimately. That if many of us, we started from the bottom and some of us haven't gotten to where we need to be, it can feel empowering to have the lifestyle. But the thing that I think is really important to understand is that people think that the lifestyle equals power, and it doesn't. And when you're in such a relationship, what will happen, and I speak on this often in my lives, and when people are asking about Share 7 and things like that, is you become an employee. You don't become a partner. And I'm in the business of helping my clients get into their forever relationships and find partners. The other thing is, really good guys are not here to flash, yeah, and not here to actually create that sort of lifestyle. And so I would offer too, for any of those women or any of those individuals that are looking for such a relationships, I would just be really careful, because most of the people that provide such a relationship are often toxic and narcissistic.
So that also ties into the conversation around transactional relationships. I think you've already kind of hit that, but I would love to hear more about your thoughts on transactional relationships. What is the difference between a transactional relationship and an emotionally intimate relationship? And can you pursue the emotional intimacy while trying to get a transactional relationship?
No, I mean, what I love about living in 2023 is that everyone gets to pursue the love life that they want at the end of the day. There's no judgment here. What I will say, though, is that the transactional relationships get old really fast. Yeah. And then I think it's like really alluring for a lot of individuals that like feel like, yeah, I just want someone else's money and I want to live a certain lifestyle.
Hmm.
Again, you will be in a disempowered state in such a relationship if you're not the one that has their own, or has a certain stability or foundation. Many of these women that are transactional need a man. And I want to offer something, which is that, in the 60s and in the 70s, I think the 1970s was when women could actually have a bank account in their own name.
Hmm.
And many of our mothers and grandmothers actually needed a man, right? In 2023, you don't need a man. You have everything that you need, right? And even, if something breaks in your house, you can call somebody to fix it. You don't need a man to do that, right? You can always hire out of it. The difference between the transactional and the emotional is wanting a man in a deeper way, the companionship, the security, the friendship, right? The activity partner, right? The things that can't be bought. And most of the people that are in transactional relationships are often absent of those things.
Come on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/Jouelzy. It's where I do all my live streaming.